Hello there. So, okay, today, okay, I wanted to talk about something, and it's something that I'm still now hesitant about talking about, but I'm gonna film the video anyway, and I'm gonna talk openly and honestly because I may not put the video up. I may just talk about it now and the video may never go up. So just because I'm filming doesn't mean that I have to like publish the video. So I'm just kind of going with that line of thinking. Okay, so the phrase that kind of comes oh god. Okay, so the things I want to talk about center around the phrase. It's not really a phrase, it's like a name. Okay, the default parent. The default parent. I don't know if this is like a new term. I'm sure that the idea and the kind of awareness has been around for a long time, but I don't know like default parent. Like I don't really like default parent. I don't like the term, but I think it's like super like true. And if you've not heard of like a default parent before, it's basically usually the mum, because it's the parent who takes on the majority of the responsibilities when it comes to the family, the children, the pets. The default parent is the parent who takes ownership for like remembering if there's special events going on at the school, making sure that the kids have their school bags packed with everything that they may need for that day. The default parent will be responsible for keeping track of dentist appointments and booking the dentist appointments, taking the children to the dentist appointments, doing the majority of the school drop-offs, pickups, cooking the majority of the meals, doing the vast majority of like the housework. Essentially, in any kind of relationship, like you always want it to be kind of balanced, but it never really is. And yeah, I definitely do feel from like my experience. I can only speak from my experience, but also like people that I know, when I hear them talking about their relationships, the general kind of consensus seems to be that the mum generally becomes the default parent. So I was talking to my sister about this the other day, and I don't want to say too much because it was a confidential conversation, but we basically had exactly the same kind of complaints when it came to our husbands, in the it just kind of it feels like everything's kind of left to you as the mum, and if you like maybe had a bad day or forgot something, the blame would also like be put upon you. I feel like men don't really struggle with guilt in the same way that and by the way, I just have to make it very, very clear, like when I'm saying men don't experience guilt, I don't want it to be I don't want it to sound like I'm stereotyping all men, because I'm definitely not, but generally, and in my experience, I feel like men definitely like do not struggle with the same guilt. Like they don't carry around like mom guilt, because I like from the moment I gave birth, I had this wave of euphoria and happiness and dread and panic, anxiety, but also like the guilt. Immediately the guilt starts, Am I picking up my baby enough? Am I comforting them enough? Am I talking to them enough? You know what I mean? Like it's kind of really overpowering and palpable, the amount of guilt I think that mums feel, whereas I feel like dads are generally a lot more carefree. And I think as women and as mums, we do naturally kind of, I think we take on that role of the default parent, because I think women generally are just a lot more capable than men generally. And I am, and I'm not apologising for it, because this is what I said to my sister when she was, she's having a bit of a rant about something, and I just said, look, I said, I'm in the same boat. I relate 1,000,000%, but the way that I make myself feel better about it, and like the way that I don't carry resentment and feel angry at honeys, is that I just remind myself that, like, I don't think Honeys could take it all on. I think he would be incapable. And that sounds really bad, but I think there's a reason why women do tend to be the default parent, and it's because we can. We can do it all. Whereas men, I don't know, I just feel like this is going to sound really, really bad, right? But this is the best and most efficient way I can think to explain this. If Honeys were to die, like, we would miss him. It would be terrible, awful. That goes without saying. But I kind of feel like we would get on just fine. I said it, I did. But I feel like if he were to die, like, obviously it would be so sad. The worst thing ever. But after a while, you know, when I got over the sadness, we would carry on just probably as we were. That sounds really bad. It sounds bad as I'm saying this now, but I hope that you know what I'm trying to say. Like, whereas if I were to die, I feel like shit would hit the fan. Like, standards would slip massively. The life that the boys have become accustomed to all of a sudden would not be happening anymore. And I just think women just way more equipped to deal with like everything, like multitasking. Or maybe we're not. Maybe that's just an excuse we tell ourselves to stop being angry at our husbands. And I wonder, like, you know, like a lesbian relationship, would it be more balanced? Or again, I imagine, would one person take on like the default, like be the default person, like organising everything? And honestly, right, I feel like if Honey's suddenly started wanting to organise everything, I don't know if things would work out well anyway, to be honest, like, because he's just not naturally an organiser. But it is tough because, like, I work full time. I work 37 hours a week. Honey's works about 40. So, like, we both work full time. He works 3 hours more than I do a week. So it's not as if I don't work. And I understand that, you know, you do get stay-at-home mums or stay-at-home parents. And then I would say, well, yeah, I suppose it would make sense for that stay-at-home parent to be doing the majority of the family tasks, you know, the household chores. That would make sense. But when both kind of people in a relationship are both working full time, you would feel like it should be more balanced, but it's not. And I've said all of this in a way that probably makes it sound like I'm unhappy with this situation. I'm actually not. I feel like I'm capable of doing everything and I enjoy doing everything. So it's not an issue for me. Like, whenever Honey's, say if he hoovers, right? He never does it right. He misses places. He's just not as thorough as I am. Or he'll just hoover like the kitchen, but then he won't do the living room. Whereas I'll think, if I'm doing the kitchen, I might as well do the living room. And then I might as well do upstairs. Honey's has never hoovered the upstairs ever. The one job really that Honey's has, like, in terms of like the household, is taking the bin out. Like, I do the recycling bins, but his job is to take like the big bin out. And he always did that because it was like a bit awkward to do. But he waits until it's like, it's overflowing. And like, you know, we've got one of those bins with the lids that flip in and out. Like, he waits to the point that when you can't push the flipper thing in anymore because it's so full. And I used to always say, honey, could you just change the bin? And then I just thought, you know what? I'm sick of asking. Like, I'm just going to take ownership and do it myself. So now I'm giving myself a new responsibility. I do the bin. I do all the bins. And I just kind of took it upon myself because he was doing it, but was not doing it to my standards. And I didn't like asking him. I don't want to ask him to do stuff. I would rather do it myself. And I don't know. I just feel like, you know, in like a relationship, I feel like things are never, like, it's a complete false and unrealistic notion to imagine that you are going to be happy every single day. You're going to really love that person every single day, and you're going to be completely like confident that they were the person that you really wanted to have in your life. Not realistic. I find that it's like up, it's down. Like, there's days when I think, oh God, like, he's amazing. I don't know, like, what I would have done if I didn't meet him. He's wonderful. We're so in love. He's so supportive. And then there's other days where I just think, fucking hate you. Like, fucking hate you. He'll go up the stairs and I'll be like this. Because I'll just be like, fucking hate you. You know, when you just think, geez. And it's tough. You know, you have children, you've got pets, you've got lots of stuff going on. And it's tough. And I just think it's so unrealistic to imagine that you are going to be madly, deeply in love every single day of your life. And like, who are these people that are actually still having sex like multiple times a month, a week? Who are these people? Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird video. It is. I can accept that. It's a bit all over the place. When is it? When is it not ever? When is it ever not? Is that... Well, anyway, it's always all over the place. I just want to be open and honest because I was watching Love is Blind and the contestants are like, after like 3 days, or not even 3 days, 3 dates in the pods, they're like, I love you, I'm in love with you, I'm in love with you, I want to spend the rest of my life with you. And they're like, you know, when they're doing a little like cut away to the camera, he's my person, we're going to be together forever and it's going to be fantastic and we love each other. I just don't think that's realistic, honestly. I just feel like with everything in life, right? Things work in the moment, and as you grow through life and have different experiences, like we're on this journey of like constant change and growth and experience, and all of these different things that happen every day they kind of adjust you almost. So I think it's like a really false notion to assume that if you get married, like that is going to be forever. And for some people it is forever, but I think you've got to like be really realistic with it. Like, what do you want out of a marriage? Like for me, I want a best friend, and Honeys is my best friend. As I said, there's times when I fucking hate him and I think, how could I poison him? No, I don't think that. Oh my gosh, that's how, if he actually does die straight, like randomly, this is going to come back and haunt me. Like, I would never do that. But there's days where I go like this. That's what I do, not poison. Fuck off. But I love him. I'm here. If I didn't love him, we wouldn't be here. And I'm so happy that he's the father of my boys. He's fantastic. But I fucking hate him on some days. Let's make this like reality. You're not going to just love that person forever and ever and ever and be so grateful to have them. There's going to be so many days in the month when you just question all of your life decisions and you think, fucking hate this person. But the reason why you think that is because they are most likely your closest person. They know you intimately, you know them intimately. They grate on you. You know all their bad habits. You've seen it all before. You've heard all of the fucking childhood stories. The testament to love is if you actually do appreciate the fact that there's going to be days when you cannot stand that person and you go like that, fuck off, as they're going up the stairs. But the testament is that you wake up the next day and you're still with them. I just feel a bit taken for granted, to be honest. Like, I just wish that, I don't mind. Oh, I just trumped. Sorry, guys. Oh my gosh. Sorry, Luna's down there. Sorry, girl. Yeah, I just feel a bit like taken for granted. I don't mind doing all of the stuff. Like, I'm happy doing all of the stuff. It's fine. I can do it. But it's when you just feel like it's not just not appreciated, but not acknowledged. It's not acknowledged all the shit that you're doing, you know? I get up early, I'm an early bird, I love getting up early, but like I'm always up at least 2 hours before Honeys. I've fed the boys, not one breakfast, no, not two, sometimes 3 breakfasts. I've been up and down, all the while logged into work, trying to get my hours in so that I can then do the school run, then come back, then somehow fit all of my work into like that remaining time. Well, if the cats are bothering me and there's poop in the litter tray and general chaos, and then I go and pick the boys up again, and all of these things I do, whereas this is what I resent so much. He gets to just wake up in the morning, get dressed, make his coffee and walk out the door, get in the van and go. That's him starting his day. Me starting my day is waking up at like 5, trying to quickly get some work done. Then I am a servant, you know, I'm a chef, I'm a cleaner, I am an event planner, I'm in and out, everywhere. Then I have to struggle to kind of get the boys ready for school, which Honeys does help with, which I give him credit for. Thanks, Honeys, for that. So I do all of this shit, right? I don't need to go on all of that shit. I would love to just be able to get up, make my coffee, leave. Could you imagine? I just couldn't imagine. I also feel like I'm just a bit of a house slave for Honeys. You know what I mean? I'm just like a piece of the furniture. I'm just like the chair, like, oh, there's Honeys, the chair. But thank you so much for listening. I still don't know if this is going to be posted or not, but it felt cathartic to sit here and get this out. This is like my therapy session because I cannot afford therapy. It's so fucking expensive, which is annoying. But anyway, guys, I am going to go. But let me know down below. Do you have these same issues? Like, do you love your husband but also hate him? I mean, that's the reality, I think, of marriage. I love them, but I hate them too. Like, if me and Honey say wanted to, say if wanted to like redo our wedding, I would write vows, which I didn't do last time because I can't be asked with that shit because I'm not a romantic or I'm not sentimental. But if I did, I would want to be so realistic. I'd say, Honeys, there's going to be so many days when I hate you. Like, you're going to piss me off. Piss me right off. I will put up with it. Or, no, not that. I will still be here the next day. You can find me in the kitchen, clearing out the litter tray, hoovering the upstairs, which, oh yes, honey, we do have an upstairs and it doesn't need hoovering. Oh my gosh, who knew? So you just catch me taking the bin outside and it's fine. Anyway, guys, I am going to go. I think that my period's due, guys. I'm very sassy today, I know. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.